the second son that they birthed into the world. Called his name is Orlando, and many people um, couldn't believe that Mr. Duncans would pass the business on to Orlando, which is Orlando. He's a nice business person. He is. He's a very nice business person, but something about Orlando has a sex problem, or he's just addicted to having sex with different escorts. Like, I don't think that's a really good idea. But something about when he's having sex, it doesn't go to his head, because when he's having sex with these many different people, he's go back into the motor business and handle his business like he's supposed to. When it start, it's fresh for him, because now he's the leader, so he had to somewhat have to not to be like the party type, or lay low a little from this little sex lifestyle that he having. But it's very interesting how they got it, because in the story they have it that he began to fall deep for one of these girls that he having sex for. And that was very interesting to me when I was reading that. That was interesting, very interesting. That made me want to read more of it. But like I was saying, I couldn't finish this fucking book, because in the middle, as um as I was reading, because somehow Duncan's the family business, who run car sales, had did a distribution with somebody that they knew from the West Coast. Somebody he was cool with, some Spanish guy. Um, and as he was doing his business with somebody that he knew from back in the days, um, he had promised him that he would give him this roadster, some kind of sporty old vintage car that used to be Mr. Duncan's car back in the days. So he let him know when he'd be able to pick it up back in New York, because the story is told in New York, like in Long Island, around that area, Long Island and Brooklyn, somewhere around that area. But once he had tell him, yo, go down and go pick the car up, the roadster car. He found that the car was stolen, or the car was stolen, and they did something to the people they're supposed to be protecting the car, something like that. So Mr. Duncans, who knew who knew this guy from back in the day that he used to do business with on the West Coast, had his son to come down to New York to make sure that everything was, I guess, like all together and put together correctly, like business supposed to be. Like, I guess he didn't want, like, to take his word off the phone from the friend from the West Coast. So this friend from the West Coast had his son, to come down there to make sure that everything was intact, that it was real shit. It wasn't no bullshit. So he came down and everything, and what Mr. and Mrs. Duncans, one of the daughters is I don't know. I would call her someone that enjoys sex too. This girl, this fuck anything. I don't give a fuck what it is. Fuck anything. But she started catching. No, I don't think she started catching feelings. But She wanted to fuck him, the Spanish guy, because she think he had a nice, nice accent and all this shit. But as she got a chance to have sex with the Spanish guy, who is the of son of the person they did business with on the West Coast. Somehow the people had had broken to his hotel while Mr. and Mrs. Duncan's daughter was naked. Well, it wasn't actually having sexual intercourse yet, but she was having oral sex with him, but she was butt naked and everything. But it was about it, about to handle their business. And she heard a familiar voice. And she said, "Oh, that sounds like somebody I know." And it wasn't somebody that she know. It was the one that she knew. It was her brothers. And I'm like, what the fuck this book going to? I'm like, what the fuck they talking about? I couldn't understand what the fuck was going on. I was like, okay, it's a kidnap. And it's her brother kidnapping the the guy who's from the West Coast to do business with him. So it turned out that they believe that he has stole like the heroin. And I'm like, what the fuck heroin come in this picture? It just when I started reading that shit, I said, heroin? Like, what the fuck kind of book is this? I like, why are you talking about heroin when it's supposed to be legal business they supposed to be doing? They selling cars and shit. And I'm like, heroin? When I read that that fucked me over because it started out very good. I'm telling you, this story started off. I read at least up to over 200 pages of this damn book. That's how good it was to me. But when it started talking about heroin, bullshit like that, and that really turned me off. And I feel for me, for someone who's black, for someone who reads books as me, and for someone who's a writer, um, I don't think certain things should be written in books as like for drugs and shit. You know, um, cause me, I feel like that shit could be avoided. I've been in the game as long as Carl Weber has been in the game, and also Eric P. I feel they could have did a better job than what they did. I haven't read all of Carl Weber's books before, but there have been other books I have read that I really like, and this is like one of the books that really turned me off about him because it made me start thinking, I don't know what the fuck he trying to do. Is it about the money or what it is, or I don't know what had happened, but um, like I was saying, certain things shouldn't be put in the book as drugs unless he's trying to um, put it as that they are the bad people trying to get their life together. But after that, I didn't want to go forward and wanted to know what was going to happen. I just said, let me just close the book because I don't have time to be reading that. That don't interest me. Maybe it interests somebody else, but it doesn't interest me at all. So I'm not proud of you, Carl Weber and Eric P. for doing what you're doing. Even though I didn't complete the book, but it just turned me off right there because the story started off very good. It started out very good, the book. It made me start thinking like, oh, I'm putting these characters in my mind, how they visualize and how they would look and how, you know, everything about it, start thinking like, wow, this is This is some very good imagination I'm putting in my mind. But after that, I just say, fuck it, I don't want to read the book. You know, it turned me off. You know, trying to see what's else going to happen. Um, that's all I have in mind that I want to say about this book. Uh, I still get called with the respect and the love for being in the game as long as he has, but he fucked up on his book, and I ain't gonna try to pick it back up. Shit, fuck that up. That's that. That's it. I had enough. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know. I mean, how you feel about it. Talk to me about it. Express your feelings to me. Maybe I'm looking at it in a different perspective, a different angle. I don't know what's going on, but that right there, I don't know what's going on. And also, I'm like, um, this book right here, I don't know what type of audience this damn book was written to. Also, too, I'm saying, no, what? But like I said, get back with me, however you feel. Write your comments. Speak to me. How you feel about this book or Carl Weber or anything in general about writing. Please let me know. Speak your mind. Thank you.